to go ahead and open the meeting. This is September 27th at 5 p.m. The Board of Public Works and Safety. Could we please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll open the meeting with Ms. Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Here.
Greg Miller.
Present.
Megan Sheets is absent.
Oh. Next, let's go with the minutes from the September 13th regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of September the 13th.
I'll second that motion.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the claims for this week. Greg, I think they're over there by you.
I'll make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. This afternoon, we have some public comments. Amanda Wilder, East McClurk Street, and Jason.
I'll just cover that in my report there.
Okay.
That's okay.
We can do it then. Okay, that would be fine. Okay, department reports. Police Department, Chief Shoemaker.
Welcome.
Even though you didn't answer your phone.
We played phone tag 3 times.
We did.
Interesting.
I'm glad to be back. The first thing on the agenda was the Center Township Agreement. I'm going to ask that remain, I think it was on the table from the last, wasn't it
I
on
don't
the table?
even think we tabled it, did we? We just didn't even present it, so. Isn't that right, Carol?
Yes, it
It wasn't
presented.
Okay, so we're going to hold off. There are some changes in we got cheaper, which is good. But
So do we need to change that contract before?
I've sent it back to Center Township and they're going through their attorney and their board first before I have to require a higher first year payment, but less over the second and third year. So I wanted to make sure that they could even to fund that. So if they can't, then we'll have to. Yeah.
Okay,
The second, the special event for Creekside Art and Music Festival, I believe I sent an email that is actually on the Ivy Tech property. It's not an alley, and they've got approval from Ivy Tech to use the alley for the time to set vendor booths up and whatnot. So I don't believe that a special event applies. They did fill one out, but I just think for the record that we don't need it. That they're going to have their event in October, but all the alcohol that they have permits to sell in the building will remain in the building on their patio. There is the Frankfort High School Homecoming Parade. As of now, it is still scheduled to go. I'd ask for the board's approval to allow us to shut portions of Washington and Clinton Street down for the period of the parade. This Friday.
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the closure of the streets for the Frankfort High School parade.
I'll second.
Roll call. Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
I'd like to ask the board to formally approve Halloween on October 31st, 2021, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There'll be events downtown and at the TV park, and then that time frame allows, I think last year with COVID and everything, we kind of reduced it, but I don't think there's no legal ramifications for somebody trick-or-treating after hours, but I think it's just nice that people know this is the city's official hours. There'll be extra police presence during that time and that time only for Halloween.
I think that sounds good. I know last year people were disappointed we cut the hours, but I think with this situation, I'm good with going back to 5 p.m.
That is for the 31st.
Sunday the 31st.
And I'll make a motion that we approve the Halloween hours for the 31st, 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
I'll second that. Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
That's all I had, just to, I know, February, the purchase of the new handguns, we finally received those, within the last few weeks, and we've begun training on them, today. And I brought one, I'll show you after the meeting, of the new handgun. And so the officers are very appreciative of allowing us to modernize it. The weapon that we were carrying is over 20 years old. It's heavier. The new handgun is lighter, has better optics, and also can carry more ammunition at one time. So those are rolling out today. And then last week, we had 4 officers graduate to crisis intervention
Oh, good.
training, week-long course. And then the drone school was last week too. And they told me that it was very in-depth and a lot more than a lot of people get. So I think they're ready for a test. I think they'll be the only FAA certified, I think, in that they know. A lot of people get waivers. I believe law enforcement and fire can get waivers, but it causes the problems that we've
Exactly.
heard. So these, the guys from the police department, and John could talk about fire department, I know from our guys, it was a good course, and they learned a lot. So that's all I
Thank you
have,
for allowing them to go to both of those trainings. Thank you.
unless there's any other questions.
And I'm glad that the city was able to provide the new handguns. Much needed. Okay, thank you.
It's 24. That's what that sound is.
Okay, fire department. Chief Kirby.
Yeah, that class looked like a pretty in-depth class. I looked through one of the books that we ordered and I wouldn't want to take it. It looked like it's pretty tough. So they are, I don't know, do you guys order those books?
I don't think so.
So I ordered 3 study books for them for the test. So,
Okay, good.
so hopefully.
I'm
it
glad
helps.
we're getting that training.
Yeah, it'd be good. So, Mayor, back to the fire gear, Les, drew up a resolution for a special purchase for this gear. I did get with, they did say it was very uncommon, not that they don't like demo the gear out, for us like wearing fires. But I did, take your request and I called the salesman back and got, some references.
Mhm.
And 2 of the references ended up being 2 of our firefighters, which was Jeremy Payne and Dustin Phillips. And then Jeff Rustin, who's actually working on the containers out there at the training facility. And then there was 2 other guys I called from different townships that was like out away from here. And every one of them said the gear is the best gear they ever had. I talked to Dustin Phillips the other day, one-on-one. He said he loves it. He said it's the best gear I've ever had. It's comfortable. So anyways, I thought, well, there's no better reference than 2 guys that's on your department. And like I told you, those 2 guys, Jeremy Payne and Dustin Phillips, if they didn't like it, they're not gonna hold back and say any different. So, I didn't know if we could move forward and have this guy come and start measuring guys so we can get this stuff ordered so we can get the discount.
And they do understand that that's not gonna be paid for until next year,
Yeah, he
right?
said it's ordering gear is like 6, just like everything else. It's like 6 months out. So we're looking March, April before you even receive it. Then he said you won't have to pay for it till a month after you receive it. And then obviously if they are piecing things in, like receiving, say, the jackets or the boots at one time, we just store them until we get everything and then we pass them out.
Mhm.
So, and did Les send you that special purchase?
Yes, and it's a resolution.
Yeah.
It's resolution number 21-12, resolution authorizing the purchase of personal protective equipment package at a cost of, I think it's $114,636.60.
Yes.
Greg, did you have any questions?
That was the understanding, John, that I think the question was before about the guy making the price, would be good until delivery of that, so
Yes.
that'll seal that price. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this price will be sealed if we call him and tell him we want him to get the stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, you know, most of these companies, right around this time, they're trying to get your business. So they're like, hey, you save 8% if you order now,
Mhm.
or you can pay full price if you order later. Because they know, number one, new budget's coming in January. Number two, we're at the end of, you know, this cycle.
Mhm.
So it's their way of trying to get you.
And this is currently in the public safety budget for 2022.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, if we know that it's going to pass, which I think tonight's second reading.
Next meeting is, we're
Oh,
skipping a meeting, yeah, so it's the 12th, I believe, October 12th. It'll be on a Tuesday.
Okay. But if we know it's going to pass, it's going to be there.
Mhm.
So,
The next reading is when there would be any amendments or any
Right.
changes, so.
and the original price I had was 130. That came from Hoosier Fire.
Mhm.
And like I said, I mean, that's going to be a savings of almost $16,000 that will be there for something else, if something else is needed for police or fire.
So you feel confident with the firefighters that you've talked with, that this is something that would work
Yeah.
very well for us? Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 21-12, authorizing the purchase of personal protective equipment package for the fire department.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, resolution 21-12 passes. So John, you can go ahead and move forward on that with the company. Thank you.
Just real quick with the updates, we want to do Station 2 and Station 3.
Mhm.
We talked about kind of, we're gonna save money and get more stuff done. I've got 2 quotes back on the painting,
Oh,
but I was gonna wait till I get the quotes back on carpet
okay,
and everything else before, instead of bringing it piece by piece.
okay.
I mean,
And
obviously,
then as far as the bathroom part of it, like whether we're just gonna do the shower or whatever,
yeah.
you're gonna have
that's-
something together for us on that as
Yeah,
well.
I'm just, instead of doing the entire bathroom, like hiring a contractor, I just want to hire a contractor to do the showers.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, we can go buy, you know, a vanity, toilet, flooring. I mean, the bathroom is very small.
And then also we wanna look at
So save money.
window, whatever you wanna do, whether it's gonna be blinds, curtains, whatever, you know, to replace those.
Yeah,
Or if you need Carol.
we're gonna
right,
need Carol to decorate. Because I
We can
promise
help,
the
yeah.
firefighters don't care what their curtains look like. Because like you see, they still have those 1970 yellow curtains in the front room.
Yeah,
I've never heard one complain about them until you guys went down there.
were they ever white?
They might have been. That might be cigarette smoke.
That's
From
what
the
I'm
80s.
wondering.
So anyways, that's all I have.
Okay,
So, all right, thank
okay,
you.
thanks, John.
All right.
Street Department, Jason Forsythe.
Thank you, Mayor. First. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All right.
Good.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I wanted to cover today, I have Amanda Wilder here, so she can get out of here. She don't have to listen to the rest of the meeting. Amanda lives at 500 Sims Street. I don't know if you obviously know where, I know you know where Sim Street is, but around Sim Street there on East McClurg,
Yes,
is horrible with parking. During the day, it's not too bad. During the evening, it's awful. I've had situations where I couldn't even plow the entire street down there because I can't even snow plow through it. I took Chief Kirby down there, on Friday, I believe it was, Thursday, and looked at it, had him take a look at it. He had Engine 2 and Lieutenant Warren go down there this weekend at some point in time. Obviously, if you wanted to get through with a fire truck in the evening, you couldn't get through. If you're going either way, it didn't make any difference.
That was Thursday.
That block there between Sims and Clay.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't think there was parking on the north side anyway.
On both sides, yeah. And it's something we probably should have covered a long time ago.
It didn't used to be parking on the north side years ago, but
There's plenty of driveway parking on both sides. When I drive down through there, just people don't use it. But I think it's time that we do a little something different now.
Lieutenant Warren also said that they've been down there many times. They've had to go up to Jefferson and down and around on just like assistant ambulances because they couldn't turn off of Clay and get to a house right through there. So
yeah, I believe that. That's a very narrow street. Do you remember that just being one-sided parking? Me too. I didn't even realize that that had been changed back because you didn't used to be able to park on that north side.
At the very end, when you turn the corner onto Sims, there's no parking. But from that point on to Clay, there's parking. There's no signage anywhere for no parking there. So, and then I also, I'm going to talk to Scott as well. I haven't got a chance to talk to him, but coming off of Clay, there's some yellow markings on the corner there that we probably need to look to either enforce or get rid of, one of the two. There's people parking on those yellows on the south side of the road. There's a yellow on the south side. Spray paint, probably a good, at least one parking spot in that people were parking at as well. So, but obviously she had a difficult time getting back from work the other day. And midway through, I mean, I've got to a point where I went from Sims to try to go plow because that's usually the area I plow. And you can't get through there. And you try to go on the other side and do as much as you can on both sides, but sometimes our mirrors would hit if we try to go through there. So
is there a hydrant there close on Clay and McClure? I thought there was a hydrant.
I think there is right there on the corner.
That's what I thought, right there on the corner on the north side of McClure, right?
Yeah, several of those areas actually part of that getting onto McClure off of Clay or back onto Clay from McClure. There's cars that park, used to be no parking from the bridge up to that first house. Now they park all the way back. You can't make that turn with the engine. And that's been I've been out there for 12 years and it's been at least that long since they've had that problem out there. So
would it help to make that north side no parking, do you think?
Yeah, what you're proposing to do will be great, and then also the west side of Clay Street, right when you come off of McClure, there shouldn't be any parking
A
there
section
because you
there.
can't get an engine to turn there, especially since those cars park where Jason said they normally park. You can't cut without having to back up and make
It's like a car length or something.
I mean, I know this comes up. We have this issue all over town. It's not just here, but other parts of town, we do have an opportunity. There is some places you can get through that are just tight. You know what I'm saying? But this is a situation here where you just can't get through any kind of. But obviously, our emergency vehicles, plows, our ambulances, and things like that.
We have to be able to do that. That's for the safety.
Anything else you want to add, Amanda? Covered?
Well, it's just that cars park all the way down along both sides of the road. So if two cars are coming from opposite directions, there's nowhere for one car to pull over to let the other through. One or both has to back all the way back down the street to let the other through. If you try to turn onto McClure from Clay and another car's coming, you have to back out into traffic or hope there's no traffic coming on Clay to let someone come out so you can go. I mean, there's just no safe way to maneuver that street anymore. So.
What are your thoughts on that, Greg? Okay, you want to make a motion with that?
Hopefully we won't stop there.
Okay.
So we can do some.
Do we want to go ahead and include that section of Clay?
I think maybe Chief Shoemaker, maybe we want to look at that
Okay.
before we do any of that. Because I
There'll be somebody at the city council meeting tonight to talk about parking too, so maybe we can just wrap all this into one. Jake's not gonna get us
recommendation. I mean, this one, the one that's downtown parking, which is always a problem, so I don't really want to tie this issue up with downtown parking, but to merge them would cause a lot more problems long term, so
Mhm.
if you want to pass this one,
Okay, then we can talk about the clay
and
later.
we can enforce the yellow, we just need to go and take a look at it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just make McClure.
Proposing the south side of that to see it.
To be honest, it was really great, for you, I mean, for the vehicles coming off of Clay, because normally that's where engine two would be coming from north to south, and that's probably the best one to close off and keep the north side open.
Is that what you're thinking? Okay,
That's
okay, yeah,
I'll make a motion that we approve as presented by Jason of McClurg Street. No parking south side of the street, only open for north.
okay, I'll second that motion. Roll call? Aye.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Then we can talk about the other one later, Scott, if you want to check into that for us, the Clay Street. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Next item I had was, wasn't on the agenda, but approval, I have a gentleman by the name of Glenn Boland that's going through the parking process right now. Got his background check back fine. Just waiting on his drug test. I was wanting to see if I could go ahead and have the board of works approve him pending his drug test. And then I can let you know how that all turns out. He would probably slip into the permanent part-time. And then the other individual we'll be talking about later, slide into the temporary, if that's the case, and we can start from scratch, whatever.
Okay,
His name's Glenn Boland.
do you have any questions for him, Greg?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the hiring part-time Glenn Boland at the street department.
A second.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, go ahead and just, well, and I forgot to put in there, but pending the results of the drug test.
And while I was here, just, I had something come up about 3:30, and I figured I'd go ahead and bring it up to the board of works. And if you want me to talk to the city council tonight about it just a little bit, to kind of fill everybody in, but I think we're making some headway on State Road 28. I got a call from Jared Kress, who's the guy in charge of the contractor down there. Tomorrow by noon, you will see a closure of Main, 1st and 3rd Street will open back up for cross traffic.
Okay,
So you guys know, Main 1st and 3rd. And Columbia 2nd and 4th, they will now close down. So you won't be able to get down Columbia 2nd and 4th. They're gonna be working on those intersections. So Main 1st and 3rd will open up by noon tomorrow, maybe even a little sooner. And the other 3, Columbia 2nd and 4th will close.
okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Do you have anything for him, Greg? Thank you. Building services, Don Stark.
Ludwig. What's up?
Before I get into the environmental study, getting ready to get started at Exide property. I just wanted to inform the Board of Works that over the last week and a half, we've received 2 different application requests for the police station and the swimming pools. One was by Jody Ross. She's the Associate Principal / Marketing Director of OLC out of Denver, Colorado. And the second one was Nate Hammett, who is the Work Architecture out of Louisville, Kentucky. And they both have received all their information, and so hopefully they'll be bidding on the project.
Good, thank you.
Also today, we received notice of a new home developer who's wanted to make contact about the possibility of purchasing land for building homes. So we're trying to knock down where the area is, and we'll keep you abreast of that also. Tonight, though, we will talk just briefly about the environmental study at Exide property. You have all received a map that shows where they're looking at doing some of their hydro punches. And we learned on Friday after they made contact with Jim Spears that they will not be crawling into the storm sewers or the sanitary, but they will be taking samples out of there, out of the storm sewers and the sanitary sewers. Jim has made, like I said, made contact with them, and he probably will be out there while they're doing those things. But they're looking at making 3-inch diameter hole punches, 6 on Kelly Avenue, 4 on the side streets off of Kelly Avenue. There are 3 off-site to be determined, and then 1 on East McClurg Street. That one will be a 10-inch diameter because they're looking to install a well there. They have a couple wells already in place on the Exide property. It's back off of Kelly Avenue on their property, and they're monitoring that. There are several punches that will be made inside their location. There's no charge for that because it's on their property. And then if you notice that on the map, there is a area that's dotted in red, and I think that might be the hot zone of activity of what will be happening. But they're just checking the outside diameter or perimeter. And I do know that one of the hole punches, when it says off of Kelly Avenue, there's one that'll be just off of Atkins Drive. So we're getting ready to permit them to do that. Their start date is, they're gonna start on October I believe it's October the 8th for their checks to make sure that utilities are all checked off. And then the week of October the 11th, they'll start their hydro punch process to do their testing. Can't tell you how long this is going to take or how long they'll be there. They've not made any comment about that. But as far as I know, there'll be no hole punching made in the streets. They're all off the streets in between the sidewalk or curb, if there is such a thing out there. But they will not be, as far as we know, any punches in the street.
Okay, that's good.
That's all that I have.
Now, are you gonna be a part of this as well? I know you said Jim would be there. Will you?
Jim will be there. We may go out just to check. We've made a lot of conversations with them. I don't think we're quite through with the conversations because once they get their environmental testing, then that talks about their ability to maybe sell the property or look for something to be put on the property. And that's now being kind of kicked around a little bit. There's nothing that is solid to talk about, but as we approach that, we'll keep you guys or the board all involved in notice of all that. But right now it's just checking the study of Exide property and seeing where it goes from there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you did give me some information. I know I asked last time about the increase in
yeah.
permits. And I have
That's
that.
right. And that's gonna come at the next meeting when we finish this month.
Okay,
So at the next meeting, you'll get from this point on, what went on in 2019, 20, and 2021, so you can compare how the permits are either rising or lowering. But right now, we're knocking it off the charts right now.
that's what I'm thinking. Thank you. Okay, Bart, I know you're not on the agenda, but you have the opportunity to speak if you would like.
I will remain silent. I actually don't have anything.
Okay, the only thing I can think of is we're gonna receive an award at the AIM conference next week. So that's kind of exciting. It's for Prairie Creek Park. And there's gonna be several of us in attendance. So we can all be there and see the city get an award. Yeah.
I did that.
Okay, and the attorney is not here. I guess he's really running late, isn't he? Okay, I didn't have anything unfinished business. How about you, Greg? Okay, under new business, the Director of Community Development and Outreach job description, I would just like to have that approved. What we did was change that from an exempt to a non-exempt position. The plan is for 2022 to make that position under the Board of Works budget. So that would not be a standalone department. So there would be like no supervisory or anything like that. I checked with Cheryl and HR, and we think it qualifies as a non-exempt position. So if we'd be willing to approve that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Director of Community Development and Outreach job description.
I'll second that.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. Next, we have the employee travel policy. Carol, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that since you put it together?
Yes, I became aware that we did not have an actual policy. We just had some recommended rules that we were using. So I asked Les to come up with a policy for the city for our travel and expenses that occur during travel. And it's very similar to what policy the county uses, and I believe it works very well.
I mean, I'm sure someplace along the line we had a travel policy, but we never could really come up with one in writing. I know lots of times the Board of Works, maybe we just do it through a motion or something, but we felt the need to go ahead and put an actual policy together in writing.
I'll make a motion that we approve the City of Frankfort travel and expense policy, effective date October 1, 2021.
I'll second that.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Okay, and then will you make sure all the department heads get a copy of this?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, did anyone have anything else? Anybody from the audience? Brett? Ken? Guess not. Okay, Greg, you have anything? Okay, I'll take a motion.
Adjourn.
Okay, we'll adjourn. Thank you.
What's going on there? Like, they should, do they actually plan on doing something on that side?
Transfer.
Or they just trying to figure out how they get it, so.